What are you saying, bro? You ready for another lesson?
Man, I can't wait, man. It's been a while, So.
That's a screw.
You can even tell already, you know?
Hey, right rudder, that's it.
Wheel 01, you can backtrack now.
Needs to be over the field in between the two.
Alright.
What do you know about increasing the angle of bank?
Full speed.
Exactly.
You're fine, you're on the centre line, and then suddenly you're not, bro.
Looks like you're in a grass brush.
That landing. Whew. I'm worn out.
Are you aiming to be a commercial pilot?
Yes, at some point.
Yes, so these calls, they have to be made in a commercial environment. Well done, mate. You're going to make a good commercial pilot.
Thank you.
I'll walk up behind the aircraft.
You're very behind the aircraft. We've got fuel leak. Have we? Yeah.
By the way, go to the whiskey, sorry. The whiskey is quite strong. Mate, you're going to make a good commercial pilot.
You still have control.
No, you tell me when you want to take control. You tell me when you want to take control.
Ever? Do I have to?
Yes. Because I say so. Bear in mind, you're going to have to work with what you've got, normally. What do you need?
That's what. I'll make use of what I've got.
Previously on Future Pilot 901.
Okay, how you feeling?
Feeling good?
Good. You're gonna go solo.
Okay. Student Will 08 is ready for departure. We're off.
Student Wheel 08, surface wind is 330 at 9 knots, we've got one to vacate.
Student Will 08.
Charlie Kilo is right base, get out to land. Student Wheel 08, minute takes and well done.
This aircraft is so nice to flow with.
Yeah, very nice.
Victor Golf, clear to enter South Controlled airspace now in the climb to altitude 3,000 feet, heading 090 degrees.
Yes, 3,000 feet is very nice and smooth.
Yeah.
It's not like in the cloud.
Golf, resume that location, Sierra November. Determines the procedure report on localized established.
The whole point of getting your IMC is you fly clouds. That's sort of where we are roughly. See?
Okay.
So we came in for an approach on runway 23. We did a missed approach, and now we're being vectored around to do another approach into runway 23.
Ever since I was a kid, I had a dream of becoming a pilot, but could never afford it. One day I decided to stop making excuses, to sacrifice my comfort, to make my dream happen. My name is Dee, and this is my journey. This is Future Pilot 901. Yes. Happy Monday, everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome to Future Pilot 901. I am your future captain. My name is Dee. The show is brought to you live every Monday, 7 p.m. now, Zulu time. What's up, people? How are we doing? What's up, people? Well done. We have made it to another brand new fresh week. We have made it. Okay, my soundboard is not working. Nothing's working. My background's not working. We're having one of those days. Let's see. Check. How we doing? Yo, my soundboard don't want to work. This is crazy. Last week, AWS was out. Or was that Amazon something? Decided not to work. I thought I was going to have to postpone the show. All websites were down. Canva was down. Zoom was down for a while, apparently. My streaming software was down. And then this week, for some reason, the soundboard's not working. But hey, that's how it rolls. Anyways, how are we doing? I hope you guys are good. I hope your week has been off to a great start, off to a productive start. Yeah, it's been a very, very interesting one on my side. It's been a very interesting one. I've been working on some plans. For la future, for the future. I've been working on some plans for the future. I'm actually excited to announce very soon. I will be announcing some guests. I will have some guests on the show. This is going to be for New Year's. We're going to start off 2026 with a bang. We'll start the year with a bang. It's going to be a week full of streams. That week. So first full week of Jan. So that's going to be from Monday the 5th, Tuesday 6th, Wednesday 7th, Thursday 8th, Friday 9th. Yes, I can still count. Those are going to be daily streams with guests. I'm hoping to have potentially a psychotherapist, potentially. I'm hoping to have a flight instructor, potentially. Hoping to have one of those boffin university students that's studying aviation at university. Hoping to have a personal trainer as well, a fitness coach, because I don't know about you, but I've got some plans to eat during the Christmas break. So I might need somebody to, help talk me out of the food coma that I would have been in during the Christmas break. So it's going to be a brand new, fresh start to the year. Hopefully hearing from these people, getting a bit of insight, getting a bit of motivation, inspiration even, and information for the new year. So I'm quite excited about that. More information to come. More information to come. So watch this space. Watch this space. Watch this space. Okay, if you were, here last week, then one of my words, the word on my banned list is actually. I'm not allowed to say actually on the podcast, so I must say something else. So if you guys catch me, drop it in the chat. Do you know what? What I really should do is whoever notices me saying that word, I should really, I don't know, pay you like £1 or £5 each time. I'm thinking about it. Or maybe I might have a jar that I do that. Okay, got my first candidate who I need to ban. And I'm going to delete your comment and I'm going to ban you. Bye-bye. Thank you very much for coming. Don't want to see you next time. All righty. So let's see. Yeah, so it's been a bit of a crazy week. 2 flights last week, so that was good fun. Actually flying with two flights with 2 new people who I've never flown with and never flown with me. So that was good fun, sharing the joys of general aviation is brilliant. I actually flew with a qualified pilot, a PPL pilot. So it was nice to be in the right seat for a bit. I'm not an instructor. I'm not claiming to be, but when you are a, qualified pilot, sometimes it's nice to fly with another pilot because you get to see how they go through their processes and what they do. And you're like, wait, okay, they kind of did that. I kind of like the way they did that, or, there could be a cautionary tale as well. Shout out to Mr. Ayub. Shout out to you. Thank you very much for joining us, man. Yeah. And so the pilot was kind of, less practiced, let's say, than I am when it comes to zone transiting, say, Southend, for example, or Stansted. So we just went out and I was just there for backup. So it was nice. I felt like, interesting. I'm going to weave a little bit. Performance Pilot, this book, one of the things that they talked about is how during Wimbledon, which is one of the tennis's grand slams that every tennis player wants to win. During Wimbledon, the level of tennis generally goes up. And the reason why is because what people see, they want to replicate subconsciously without even thinking. Just by seeing brilliant tennis day in, day out, naturally, like the weeks following Wimbledon, for let's say amateur tennis players, the level just rises, right? And I kind of felt that, flying with another pilot, just being there, just being able to observe, be part of the journey, but not necessarily right in the thick of it without the pressure. I didn't feel any pressure. I felt like my flight the next day was then really good. So it's interesting. That's why you want to put yourself around people who are doing the right things. You want to put yourself around people who are maniacal about achieving their dreams because it rubs off. You want to put yourself, if you put yourself around people who make excuses, who are focused on limitations, people who are focused on complaining and whining and whinging, guess what? Before you know it, you'll be whining and whinging too. It's just the way the human brain works. And so if you put yourself around people who are, inspirational, people who are going out there and trying to get it just by proximity. It's like osmosis. You just pick it up, And what happens is when you're in that kind of environment, you pick up their energy, they pick up your energy, and you multiply the energy. And that's why collaborations are so powerful, because collaborations allow you to have a bigger impact than the sum of the two parts, right? It's like, let's say you're a 10, they're a 10, you come together, and instead of you being 20, you're like a 40, right? There's a multiplier effect when you got the right symbiotic relationship. So I would say it's very important to consider every now and then who is in your inner circle, and who is on the journey with you. I'll tell you guys this story and then we'll get kicked off. So in 2019, I got a job at a school near Heathrow. And at that time, I had parked my dream of becoming a pilot because it's too expensive. I can't afford it, blah, 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 all of that trash. Anyways, being in that environment, seeing planes every day, take off, land, take off, I would imagine on approach 100, 50, 40, 30, 20, retard. I would imagine that every time I see a plane, like I'm imagining being on the approach to runway 27 left at Heathrow, and it would bother me inside. It moved me, it frustrated me. Anyways, so I started pursuing my dream of becoming a pilot, and I applied for the PPL scholarship provided by the Honorable Company of Air Pilots. I applied in 2019. They've got different stages. Stage number 1 is a written application. Stage number 2, if you get to it, you send a 1-minute video. Stage number 3, if you get to it, is interview. And then if you pass the interview, you get the scholarship. It's worth up to £15,000. It covers your whole PPL training and all the associated costs, direct costs. So I was like, yes, I'm applying for this. By the end of the year, I'm going to be, I could potentially be a pilot, and that's crazy, a crazy, crazy idea. My soundboard is not working today, by the way, Ayub. I don't know what it is. There's something's not quite working. So I can't even use my sound effects, but that's cool. The show must go on. You guys are just going to have to imagine the sound effects. Right. Anyways, I applied 2019. Did I get through to the next stage? Nope. First stage, never made it. Got an email. Thank you very much for your application. Unfortunately, the applications, were really competitive this year. We'd encourage you to try again. You've not been selected. Gutted. So 2020, I'm like, I'm going to apply again. I apply. COVID comes through. They said, unfortunately, due to COVID, blah, blah, restrictions, we've suspended the scholarship for this year. Gutted. 2021, I apply again. By now, I've been living in my car. By now, I've gone. Did I go first solo by that point? No. But I had started my training. I'd started the YouTube channel. Like, surely I'm going to stand out this time. Did I get past the first stage? No. I'm like, woof, this is rough. 2022, I apply again. By this time, I've done my first solo within 10 hours, which is pretty good. I've been living in my car, I've done fundraisers, and my YouTube channel is like showing even more videos. So 2022, I applied. Do I get past the first stage? No. So 2023, I had 2 friends, Tyrone and Mo. I called those guys. I was like, guys, look, We are all achievers. We have dreams, big dreams. Tyrone is, I might actually play you guys his music in a bit, but Tyrone is a musician. Mo is a fitness coach, personal trainer. He's also a sports therapist student. I think he might be on his last year. And we used to do the podcast Day One Mentality on the Future Pilot 901 YouTube page and on the Instagram. So I got us together, and what we did was we had an accountability group. And I said to them, hey, these are my goals. These are what I'm trying to achieve this year. And they shared theirs as well. And we had a catch up every week where we were like, okay, cool. This week, what have you done? You said you want to become a pilot. What have you done? Well, one of my goals was to apply for the scholarship. And one of the questions that came up was, okay, so you've applied for this before. What are you going to do differently this time? What's your strategy? And so I had to pitch my strategy to them, and they helped me to refine it. It's interesting how you can have something in your head, but once you actually start to explain it to somebody, you can quickly start to figure out the holes in it. You can quickly start to figure out what you're confident about and what you're not so confident about. So that allowed me to refine my approach so that actually when I applied in 2023, boom, got past the first stage, got invited to send a video. I had been practicing that 1 minute video for like months, right? So I was like, I'm good to go. Let's go. Bang. Did my video, did not send it off first, sent it to Mo and Tyrone. They checked it. They gave me feedback. I was like, cool, bet. Filmed it, sent it. Suddenly I get an email. You've been invited to the interview. Okay, bet. I'm like, either way, this year I'm becoming a pilot. I'm getting my PPL this year. So turn up to the interview. Like, I won't lie. There were some questions that I should definitely have done better on. But I was in my flow. Like I remember they asked me a question. They were like, so what do you think about teamwork? Bro, out of nowhere, I started quoting The Walking Dead. Now, it's not a The Walking Dead quote originally, but I heard it from The Walking Dead. I was like, well, when it comes to teamwork, the way I see it, it's like the quote from The Walking Dead. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And they're looking at me like, where's this guy coming from? So I'm like, yeah, because, you know, I think that with teamwork, like, and I started to explain how actually nothing around us exists without teamwork and how important teamwork is. But obviously within teamwork, there's also individual responsibilities. I start to break that down. I can see like the eyes are like lit up. They're looking at me. They're engaged. I'm like, I'm in the zone. Loved it. And then what was the other question they asked me? I remember towards the end, they asked me, so what are you going to do if you don't get this scholarship? What are you going to do? Boy, I must have laughed in their faces. I must have laughed. You know, by this time, remember, I've like done more than 7 months of living in my car. Like, I've done more than 2 years of living or sleeping on my aunt's couch. At this point, like when you sacrifice, and this is why it's so important to sacrifice and to grind for your dream, because it gives you a certain fire, right? Where you're not afraid of people because you've been through suffering. It's been like fire that's forged you so that you like, I have no fear, because if like I was gonna have fear, it would have been when I was in my car, like thinking, how is this gonna turn out? Like if I had fear, like I wouldn't have got to this point. I've already faced my fear. I've faced myself. And so by the time I show up, I'm ready to roll. So I looked at them and I laughed. I was like, I don't care. Quote, I don't care if I have to crawl to my license, but I will get my license. I don't know who else you're interviewing. I don't know what their story is. And if they deserve it more than me, so be it. But my story is very unique as far as I can tell. And I'm going after my dream. And if I don't get this, I would say thank you very much for the opportunity. I've learned so much about myself along this journey, and that I can take away with me. But if I have to crawl towards a license, I will crawl towards it. You best believe. I swear, I felt like one of the interview panel members, like his eyes started like tearing. And I was like, okay, maybe I had a bit of an impression. Anyways, that year I got it. So from 2019, not getting past the first stage, 2021, not past the first stage, 2022, not past the first stage, 2023, passed all the way and got the scholarship. By then, I had 33 hours out of the 45 needed. I had done 9 out of the 9 exams. So I was a low risk candidate. But again, for me, it's that surrounding, that environment that I put myself in, hanging with Ty, hanging with Mo, having accountability over what I'm doing, what is my dream, and what have I done in the last week to move towards it. That accountability is key. So if you've never considered it, I would tell you, if you're serious about achieving your dream, put people in an environment who are also going after their dream. I would say set up a regular interval, whether it's every other month, whether it's monthly, whether it's weekly, whatever you guys can manage, and check in with each other and take turns. Okay, your goal is to become a pilot. Your goal is to create your next album. Okay, over the last week, this is what you're supposed to do. What have you done? Oh, I haven't done this. I haven't done that. Then it's like, okay, cool, bro. Come on. What's got in the way? How can you change that over the coming week? And what it does, another thing, see, everything, listen, this is masterful. Everything is connected. Principle from the book that I found really interesting was that you would think that a great pilot does not make mistakes or makes fewer mistakes than a lesser pilot. And what they're saying here, and this book has been co-signed by several people in high positions in aviation, both military and commercial. Okay, it's been co-signed. And it claims that great pilots don't actually make fewer mistakes. What they're really good at is identifying the mistake quickly and correcting it quickly so that they minimize the impact of their mistakes. This to me reminds me of driving. When I'm driving, I can notice when I've turned too much around the corner and I just kind of relax the turn a little bit. Whereas I found that new drivers who are learning, they might actually continue for a long time and nearly go into the next car before they correct it. And then that makes me think, maybe that's true. It's not that as a experienced driver now, it's not that I don't make mistakes. Like I can sense when I'm going to stall because I drive a manual, right? Or in America, they call it stick shift. I drive a manual and I can sense when I'm going to stall. Or even if I stall, like no one take the mick out of me for stalling, okay? Why is it that people usually laugh when they see you stall? Anyways, if I stall when I'm driving, it's almost like I stalled back on it, and before you know, like, wait, did you stall? Because like you stalled and just fixed it like so quickly, I didn't even know what happened. Whereas a newer driver, they will stall and it's like, oh my gosh, could you just, and it's taken them like twice or three times the amount of time that it took me to correct. So why am I mentioning that? Because accountability is a way to correct yourself. You know, maybe you've drifted away from what you're supposed to do. Accountability allows you to correct yourself quicker, right? So because you have those check-ins, those check-ins are really, really important. So I hope that's useful to somebody. What I might even do in the future, if people are interested, is to have some kind of accountability group, to set something like that up. Really, I want to set up a Telegram group, so that we can, you know, chat outside of the live stream, because some people watch on the replay, you know, some people are very much part of the community. They're just not on the live. They just don't chat here. But I think in a more Telegram, more private environment, you know, we can have those conversations and kind of support each other to achieve our dreams. So that is something I'm definitely thinking about. All right, let's have a look at the chat. Shout out to everyone watching. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Obviously, we got Ayub as usual, the MVP in the chat. Tell me about it. Hey, here's the thing. And I think David Goggins explains this really well. When we look at somebody's story, look at Kobe Bryant, even when we look at our favorite pilots, our favorite aviation YouTubers, we watch them from a position of comfort. We're sat down, eating some popcorn, salt and sweet. Obviously, that's the best popcorn flavor. Come on. Watching them. Oh, wow, look, that's amazing. Or we watch sports. Shout out to Man United. Let's go, Man United. That's my team. I've got some shares in the company, and I'm very happy. 3 wins in a row. We beat Liverpool the week before last, and then we won this past weekend as well. But we watch them from a place of comfort. And sometimes, and movies are really bad for this, they kind of fast forward somebody's struggle period. They fast forward it. Like in the movie, the struggle period is maybe 30 minutes. But in real life, that could be 10 years. And it's like that time, it's easy looking back because we only remember the highlights. We don't remember the details unless you lived it, you know? So it does sound easier in retrospect, but in the moment it's tough. And that's why you need the right people around you, because during the tough times, they will keep you, they will support you, they will help you be focused. For whatever you're doing, there's somebody out there willing to support you. And here's one thing that's for sure. If ever you need somebody to believe in you, to believe that you can achieve your dream, I'm always going to be here. And that's my promise to you. Okay. That is my promise to you. All right. Let's have a look at the chat. Shout out. Yo, man like Daniel. Man like Daniel. Shout out to you, brother. Thank you very much for joining. Hey, do we have a code for Poolies? Let us know if we've got a discount code for Poolies. I want to share your discount code. Ayub, last time when we talk about money, because we've been talking about investing as well, and we're going to start. What I want to do, switching gears slightly, what I want to do when it comes to investing and sharing those principles, I actually want to start an account, an investing account, and I want to like exclusively run it on this show so that we can see how it progresses over time. So I want to do it literally before your eyes. Start investing a new account. I'm not going to show you guys my own current investment portfolio, but I will do a new one just to kind of demonstrate it in real time. So Ayub, you said you're using Robinhood. I would like to try out Robinhood. Do you have, yes, a real account? Do you, with real money? Yes. and my thing is, what I want to show people is how little you need to get started. Because when we think about investing and becoming an investor, we think I need to put a ton of money into it. And my thing is, start small, grow big. And literally, I'm going to be just investing the minimum amount just so we can see how it grows over time. So Ayub, if you've got a link for Robinhood, send it in the chat or email it to me, whatever you're most comfortable with. Yeah. And I'm going to use your login, not your login. Don't send me your login. Do not send me your login. No, send me your referral link if you have one, and I will use your referral link, and hopefully you get a bonus out of that, and I get a bonus out of that. Yeah, because I was going to open an account today, but then I was thinking, actually, if you're already on it, it might make more sense for me to use your link, and then we both benefit out of it. And then what I will do is every week during the show, I will actually show you my account, and I'll start from zero, and I'll start just building it up over time. All right, that's my plan. Oh, they don't give it to you. They don't give you. That's annoying. Okay. Usually there's somewhere in the app that you can find it. Have a look. If there still isn't one, then fair enough. I will just start an account and probably start investing live on the show from next week. But I'm gonna give it probably until the beginning of next week. But I thought I would probably start with Robinhood because I have heard good things about Robinhood. That is quite easy for newbies. So I think that would be quite cool. Okay, so you looked right now and they don't give you a referral link, because I checked online and it actually says that they give. Interesting. I checked online and it says they give a referral bonus. So yeah, anyways, if that changes, like I said, drop me an email on this email. Okay. I'll be able to see it from there. Just let me know within the week or whatever. And once we start a Telegram group, then we can obviously be able to chat. All right. So that is the email address. All right, people. By the way, my soundboard is not working today. I don't know why. I've refreshed the stream. It's still not working. So we are just rolling with it. So what I'm saying is just imagine the sound effects. Imagine the sound effects. Right. Right. Let me see what I would like to share with you guys today. So I told you guys I've been on 2 flights over the weekends, which was amazing. It was brilliant. I absolutely enjoyed it. Let's see. I might get in trouble for this, but hey, who cares? Who cares? Sometimes, you'd rather ask for forgiveness than ask for permission. You guys ever heard that saying before? I'd rather ask for forgiveness than ask for permission. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm about to do right now. I'm about to put myself in a position where I might need to ask for forgiveness because I ain't asking for permission. Shout out to Tim. Allowed me to film the flight. Shout out to you, qualified pilot. We had a great time, man. It was nice to vibe. It was nice. Wait, what? 2 black pilots together? I didn't know they made black pilots. What? Yo, that's crazy. There's such a thing as black pilots, and there are 2 of them together. Crazy. Nah, I'm being facetious, but some people don't know these things. But let's have a look. This is takeoff at North Weald. Oh, look, it's going to start glitching now. And it's glitching. All right, let me know in the chat, because when I'm watching it from my streaming software, it glitches and stops. But when I actually watch the video, it's now playing. So I hope it's playing for you guys, but I can't really see if it is or not. One in the chat if it's playing properly now. One in the chat if it's playing. Okay, great. Nice one. A bit bumpy. Ah. Okay, no audio. Oh, okay. Yeah, it must be I don't know what it is, man. It must be the issue. Okay, I'm going to refresh the stream again just to see if that helps. All right, I'm going to refresh the stream again. All right, mic check. Ay. Nope. Okay, we don't have access. We do not have access to sound. Okay, let me check this. Can you hear this sound? Let me play. I mentioned Tyrone, one of my really good friends, actually. He's got a pretty cool song. I'm going to play that for you guys now, just to test the sound as well. Tyrone, Isaac, Stuart, and Pure Body. Let's go. Give me a second, loading up. Yeah. Shout out to Tyrone, Isaac, Stuart. Why am I not subscribed? Can you hear this? One's in the chat if you can hear it. Yeah, let's go. Let's vibe. Bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yo.
Earth.
Future.
Brown.
Pilot.
Melanin.
Niner.
Mercury.
One.
Soul Train.
Future.
Cold Train.
Pilot.
Cold Time.
Niner.
Down to the chorus, all soul. Pure gold. Mad Mind. Mad Miners. Congo. Mad Miners. Go home. iPhone. Bad Apple. Pure bodies dead. Bad Apple. The tree spoke from Ghana.
Shout out to Tyrone.
Them people, them Ghana.
Check him out.
Shook that tree for a money maker. Sucks how I did wrong. Earth.
Yeah, we multi-talented.
If everybody's birth, then what's a pure body worth? My soul cry earth. Brown. Melanin. Mercury. Soul Train. Cold Train. Cold Time. Down to the course, all soul. Pure gold. Mad Mind. Mad Miners. Congo. Mad Miners. Go home. iPhone. Bad Apple. Pure bodies that bad Apple. My tree spoke from Ghana. Now my people them Ghana. Now you shook that tree for a money maker. And it sucks how I did wrong. Oh earth, if everybody's birth, what's a pure body worth?
That's him playing the sax. Shout out to Tyrone. Hey, sometimes you have to enjoy music, man. We're multi-talented out here. You're not going to get this on any other aviation YouTube channel. You can't hear aviation, we do motivation, we do mental development, we do growth mindset, we do everything. In terms of life, it's not just trying to box life, everything goes together. Yeah, anyway. He plays a saxophone, he constantly does music, obviously, lyricist, open word. So he's multi-talented guy as well. Tyrone, one of the guys that I've been working in my journey for months, years, we were like every week.
I'm so sorry. So sorry.
But where else are you going to get these vibes? Yeah.
Ear the at, ear the A-R-T-H, ear the at, ear T, hear T-H-E at, he at, He-A-R-T-H, he-A-R the at, he-A-R the at, earth, brown, melanin, mercury, soul train, coltrane, pure heart, hear the at, hear the A-R-T-H, hear the at, hear T, hat.
Like this.
There goes the sound of the underdog. You see my dread, an underdog, you could be my dread. You see my dread, a sausage dog, you could be my dread. Against PITs, you've been barking man, please be my guest. Nappy headed siren scream, till they don't sound dear, no, I'm like this.
Yo, if you want to go to them dry aviation YouTube channels, then be my guest, man. This is a place to be. This is the place to be.
Melanin, mercury, soul train, coltrane, coltan, down to the chorus also. Pure gold, mad miners, Congo, mad miners, go home, iPhone. Bad apple, people said, bad apple. My tree spoke from Ghana. Now my people them gone, now you shook that tree for a money maker. Sucks how I done did wrong. Oh earth, if everybody's birth, what's a pure body worth?
Yo. Hey, shout out to Tyrone. Man. This guy is a musical genius. I appreciate you, brother. I definitely am due a catch up with Ty. But yeah, man, he's one of those cool people that I've had on my side, that supported me, helped me stay on track. So if you want to listen to that song again, because it's mad vibes, but also, you know, it's quite deep actually. If you listen to the lyrics, like he's saying something that's actually quite deep. So the link is in the chat. Feel free to check it out in your own spare time. The link is there. Okay, the link is there. Since my soundboard is not working, you're gonna have to imagine the sound effects in your own head. This is audience participation. Speaking of audience participation, guess what you could participate in after this show? You could participate in watching this. I've always loved flying.
Hello. I'm the radar. Come on. Well done.
And dancing, there's no denying. If only I could blend the two. I know what I'll do. I'll fly to a new place to dance with a new face. Enjoying the wings a private pilot license brings.
That was a little bit gusty.
Just made a no-fly decision.
Sport conspicuity, 3 call shore.
a different way to our bill and advance.
2-0, join downwind.
I call it fly to dance.
4 flaps.
Ooh, nice one.
Flaps come up.
Whoa, flight, bro.
Foxtrot Sierra, welcome to shore.
We have everything in this flight, man.
Everything, bro.
Yes. If you've not seen the Fly to Dance series, then make sure you go to the Future Pilot 901 YouTube channel and watch it because it's quite interesting. There's an interesting flight. Make sure you check it out. Okay. So I mentioned that I did a couple of flights, and also we've been looking at this book, but I'm very, very mindful of just engaging in theory and not doing the practice. So one of the chapters that we had got to is the chapter on self-coaching, right? And it talked about the different stages of learning and how to improve your performance. It's really a very, very simple equation. How do you improve your performance in anything? There's a very simple equation, and I found that super useful. And that equation is simply this. In fact, what I might do is type it for you guys. Give you something visual. Okay. If you know what that equation is, drop it in the chat. If you know what that equation is, shout out to Ayub dropping the link for Fly to Dance. Thank you for that, man. Appreciate you as always. Actually, Ayub, email me so I got your email. And then I'll tell you, I will reply to you. And in case just screenshot it. There you go. Yeah, that's my email. All right, cool. So what is that simple equation that will allow you to improve in anything? What is that equation that will allow you to improve at anything? Okay, if you know it, put it in the chat. I'll give you 10 seconds. What is the theory? What I might do actually to get some. Whoa! Did I just say actually? I'm not allowed to say that. What I might do is find a different way to do sound effects. Ooh, 1 second, guys. 1 second, guys. I might have just had an idea. I don't think it's not gonna be like usual, but we can make it work for today. Oh yeah. That's the best I can do, guys. My software is not working, so that's the only way. That's the only way I can put sound effects. Okay. But the thing is, I still have to have it on the screen, because if I take it off the screen, then I don't have access to it. So you guys can now see my soundboard. Okay. You know. Oh, who did that? That was Ayub. Ayub, that was you. Ayub. Bro, this is a live show, man. Come on, bro. That is bang out of order. A few moments later. Okay. Let's get back to serious business. What is the what you might call it, the equation that will allow you to get better at anything according to this book? Okay, Performance Pilot. It's simple. Here it is. I'll give it to you guys. There it is. Mental imagery, MI. What is mental imagery? It's your ability to picture in your mind's eye exactly what the correct way to do something is. So if it's landing, it's about you being able to picture in your mind the perfect landing, having the correct approach speed, looking in the correct place, having the feeling of holding the yoke in your hand, looking at the numbers, you're over the numbers, pulling the power to idle, looking right to the end, the far end of the runway as you begin to flare, using your peripheral vision, not your central vision acuity, your peripheral vision to figure out the rate of descent and to have that smooth pullback flare to touchdown. Being able to picture that in your mind, the perfect landing, the perfect golf swing, the perfect, I play darts sometimes, quite like darts, but having a perfect mental imagery. And then A is awareness. What does that mean? That means that when you're actually doing it, so now you've imagined it, when you're actually doing it, you're aware of what your body is doing. You're aware that actually, no, when I was flaring, I was too tense, or I was too relaxed, or I pulled back too quickly, or I didn't have right rudder when I was using the power, or I didn't, look in the right place when I was trying to flare. I was looking right off of the nose instead of looking all the way down the runway. Okay, and that makes a huge difference to your landing. So one of the things in the book that they do to help you build your awareness is they suggest debriefing your flight in quite a lot of detail. So they've got an appendix at the back. I'll quickly show you guys, and I'll show you guys what I made out of it. And obviously, whatever resources I have, if you're interested in it, I will find a way to make it available for you guys, because I like to make these things for myself. So this is part in the self-coaching section of the book. So you've got all these questions here, yeah, to debrief. So from pre-flight and start, did I ensure that all required documents were on board? Did I obtain pertinent weather forecast, correctly interpret them? And that goes on to the next page where it talks about takeoff, and you get to look at your takeoff in more detail, then the cruise, then the maneuvers, then the descent and arrival, then the any instrument approaches, traffic pattern and circling, etc., etc. So it's quite detailed. And what I'm doing is I'm taking these questions and putting them into Google form, right? So that after every flight, all I have to do is Google form, click, 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 and answer, right? And that's me trying to improve my awareness. Because you can have the right image, but if you're not aware of what you're doing, you're just going to feel trash, because you're going to be like, I know what to do, but I'm not doing it. And you don't really know what you're doing wrong. Or if you've got a lot of awareness, but you don't have the perfect image, then you can't fix it. So it's very important to have the perfect mental image of what you're trying to do, and then have the awareness of what you're actually doing compared to the perfect mental image, right? So I had my flight, so I thought I would actually do this whilst we were here, okay? And we can kind of have a look. And if you guys think this is useful, I will find a way to make it available to you. I'll find a way to make it available to you. Give me a second. Give me a second. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Oh, what is this button? Give me a sec. I need to. Okay. Do you know what? YouTube keeps striking my video when I use that. So I actually can't use that, annoyingly. It keeps, bringing it up that it's copyright material. Ooh, okay, cool. Anyways, let's come back to flight debrief. So how can you debrief your flights? How could you debrief your flight? You could use this. So I will share this tab. You guys can see that. I will swap C's and I will zoom in so you can see it even better. Now, can you see those balloons? Basically, I ended up using a pre-made template that had the balloons on there because it was a party invitation. Yeah, it was a party invitation. By the way, can you still hear the soundboard right now? Can you hear this sound? One in the chat if you can. Can you still hear that? Okay, perfect. Oh, you can't hear that. Okay, that's fine. It's because I'm sharing a different screen. All right, cool. I just wanted to know if that worked. All right. So let's see. Name, pilot in command, dates. Let me actually reload this. Date. Yep. When did I fly? I flew on Saturday. Aircraft reg. I'll just make this up. ABCD. From North Weald to North Weald. Taco start. I'm just going to make this up. 2812. I think it was actually 2812. Actually 2813. 2812.9 it was, and 2812.1. It doesn't matter. 2812.9, 2813.7, let's say. Flight start time, it was about 12 o'clock Zulu. I need to change that to actually have a time format, so I will fix this. So this is me testing it. Then it will say 13:05. Okay, then next. And then here's going to take me to pre-flight and engine start. Did I ensure that required documentation was on board? Yes. Did I obtain pertinent weather forecast? Yes. Was my flight planning accurate and complete? No, because I was only focusing on having fun on this flight. It wasn't about navigation or that. I used Sky Demon. I wasn't trying to get all detailed. It was only two of us, so I didn't need to do weight and balance. We only had 3 hours of fuel. We were way inside the envelope, so we were good. Fuel order, I didn't have a fuel order because we had sufficient fuel on the aircraft. That was not available. Was airworthiness checked and correct dispatch deviation procedures applied? Yes. So it kind of takes you through all the questions, right? Were all items of pre-flight inspection performed correctly? Yes. Were my performance calculations correct? No. Were weight and balance calculations correctly performed? No. Did I brief all appropriate and pertinent information? Yes. Were radio aids correctly set and identified for departure? Yes. Was flight management system correctly loaded and utilized? Not applicable. Was engine start procedures applied correctly? Yes. Did I plan for and self-brief contingency procedures? Yes. So this involves talking about, particularly before, when is this pre-flight? It talks about how much fuel I had, and if we had to divert, it would likely be Southend. We had an hour and a half minimum reserve fuel, so we had plenty. Did I follow local startup procedures? Yes. Did I check a note transponder accuracy? Yes. Particularly at North Weald, this is important. When you start the engine, let me just say this. When you start the engine, what you need to do is then set the altimeter. 1 second. Let me just make this visual because I am aware that there are people with various levels of experience that will watch this. So let me let me just share this. Right. Okay. So this is the altimeter, right? So what I would then do is, okay, this is no, this is mercury, right? I need hectopascals. Let's see. Altimeter. Yeah. Okay. So then you set QNH, you set this to 1013. And then whatever height it tells you here, check that against the transponder. So on this day, we had 998 hectopascals, which gave us 600 feet on the altimeter. And I checked that and compared it to the transponder, and it said 600 feet. So we checked that. So this is what I mean by this question. All right. Did I check and note transponder accuracy? So that way I was able to confirm transponder accuracy. Did I then, let's go back. Did I check density altitude on the altimeter? Yes. All right. So then that brings us to taxiing and departure. Did I ease on and off the brakes? Yes. Was my directional control excellent? I'll say I was like on the taxi line. I was in the middle when I was taxiing through grass taxiways, so all good. Speed control, excellent. You know, I was always in control, wasn't too fast, wasn't too slow, all good. Am I using throttle against brakes? I did notice at one point I was using throttle against brakes, so this could be an improvement point for next time. And that's one of the things that it talks about in the book. Why you do this is what you debrief to this level so that you know what to work on in your next flight. Yeah. Did I appropriately apply? Did I apply appropriate safety procedures crossing runways? Radio call, yes. I called for backtrack. I looked out, made sure I called clear to the right, clear ahead, clear left. Nothing on base, nothing on final, and then I entered the runway with all the lights on. So yes. Then the next one would be takeoff and climb. Did I cross-check runway in use and clearances? Yes. I always, when I get on the runway, always, I get on the runway. So we're told, yeah, runway 20. So I get on runway 20. I look at the numbers on the runway. I say runway 20. I look at the compass. Runway 20, we're pointing to 20. I look at the DI. Now, aircraft DI. The direction indicator, right? So let me share this. I then look at this and I call this out, okay? Direction indicator. So runway 20, so we'll be facing this side here, which is 200 degrees on the compass. Yeah. So that's what I did. So I always do that. And one of my old instructors got me into doing that, always calling it 20 on the runway, 20 on the compass, 20 on the DI. We know we're on the right runway, because it's very easy to make a silly mistake and be on the wrong runway. And that's something you definitely want to avoid. So as you can see, this is really about cultivating the right, good habits. And then if you missed it, that's okay. No one's perfect. But because you've reflected on it, you're now aware. Remember, it's all about building awareness. You're now aware of where you are not up to scratch. And then the next flight, you can make it your aim to correct it. So that is the idea. Now, let's keep having a look at that. Next questions. Did I cross-check the runway in use and clearances? Yes. Were hot or cold weather procedures applied correctly? Yes. It wasn't that cold. It wasn't icing conditions. I did not need pitot heat. So that was absolutely fine. Did I assess the visibility requirements were met? Yes. Did I check the windsock against aircraft crosswind limits for performance calculations? because I've flown the same aircraft lots of times and I've done the calculations before, I know where the limits are. So I didn't have to do the calculations again. But I definitely checked the windsock. We had a right crosswind on that day. So I called it out. And this is another thing that I do when I'm flying with a passenger, whether they're a pilot or not a pilot, student pilot or not student pilot, or completely new to aviation, I call everything out. If nothing else, it just helps them be relaxed. It helps them to think, I know what I'm doing, even though I may not know what I'm doing, but it gives them the feeling that I know what I'm doing. So we get on the runway, I call 202020. I say there's a right crosswind, so we're going to have crosswind corrections, and I turn aileron into wind. I checked my passenger, said, happy? She said, happy. And off we went, you know? So you always want to keep the good habits going. So that's a yes. Did I correctly apply takeoff minima? Yes. Did I line up on the center line? Yes. Did I apply power smoothly? What I noticed actually this time, interestingly enough, so I hold the brakes. I apply 2000 RPM. I check T's and P's on the green. I release the brakes. Make sure I'm on the center line. Apply full power, right rudder, looking as far as possible, call out power set, call out T's and P's are in the green, call out when airspeed is alive, notice that abort point coming up, rotate speed, rotate. But what I noticed this time, I was particularly slow. I put 2000 RPM. Takeoff power is about 2,500, 2,700 RPM. So I still had a bit extra to go, which is how I usually do it. So I had 2000 RPM with the brakes on, released the brakes, but it took me longer than usual to go full power. I was kind of focusing on the center line. And at some point, like 2 seconds later, I was like, oh, we need full power. So that's something I'm going to note for next time. But can you see how this level of debrief allows you to reflect on little things that you may not reflect on if you just go, how was the flight today? Yeah, it was all right. The takeoff was like, it was pretty good. The landing was, yeah, I mean, I probably just need to be a bit smoother, but you kind of miss the detail, right? And remember, if you're flying with a flight instructor, you're going through a skills test, you're going through revalidation, they're not going to look at just the bigger picture. They're going to look at the details, how you go through the checklist, right? So it's really useful to actually debrief at this detailed level. Did I apply the power smoothly? Yes, but I delayed full power for some reason, but no risk at all. We had plenty of runway and I did it well in time. So, and we were off airborne before what is usually my abort point. Did I sufficiently allow for the torque effect? Yes. In fact, I was quite surprised how little torque effect there was. But that's because I was at 2000 RPM. And then when I put full power, then I noticed the usual torque effect. How far ahead did I look when I was taking off? Okay, so this is where I could improve. So Lindbergh reference is basically off the side. Yeah. I'll show you guys in case you don't know the Lindbergh reference. Lindbergh reference. Aircraft. Oh, I can't see it. I can't see a good picture. But basically, it's looking off the side. When visibility at the front is not available, you could look out the sides. So I did not do that, obviously. But I noticed actually during takeoff, I was looking right in front of the nose, not at the horizon. So that's something I could improve at. That's definitely something I could improve at. Can I look further ahead? Yes. Is my crosswind technique appropriate? Yes, it was. I had aileron correction as we picked up speed. I neutralized the ailerons a little bit more until rotate. Were correct multi-crew call-outs made? Yes. I would say not multi-crew call-outs, but just standard call-outs like power set, T's and P's are in the green, airspeed is alive, 40 knots, 45, 50 knots, 55, rotate. All those calls were made. Did I call out my abort point during the ground roll? No, I didn't. I was aware of it, but I didn't call it out. So this is something I could improve on. Is my rotation rate appropriate? Yes. Did I attain and maintain correct climbing speeds? Yes. I climbed, my selected speed was 80 knots. So I was happy with that. Did I correctly apply the takeoff checklist? Yes. Flaps, engine, T's and P's in the green, landing lights off, then trim for the climb. So that was a yes. Did I attain and maintain desired altitude? Yes. Was my transition from visual to instrument smooth? That didn't apply because I wasn't going instrument. Were correct contingency procedures applied? Rejected takeoff or engine failure after takeoff? That did not apply. How is my speed maintenance in the climb? I would say it's good, not excellent. It could be better. It doesn't, it's not at the place where it needs improvement. I would say it's good, within tolerance, but it could be better. Was the power reduction, gear flap retraction sequence correctly applied? Yes. Did I meet the necessary altimetry requirements? Yes. Were appropriate autoflight modes used during departure? Not applicable. Did I comply with nose abatement? Yes. How is my level off from the climb? Good. I wouldn't say excellent, but I'm being hard on myself. Were correct procedures applied at transition altitude and top of climb? Yes. Top of climb, transition altitude does not apply. Cool. So I'll stop there, but I just wanted to give you guys a flavor of the kind of debrief that this book advises. That's the level of debrief. I mean, I imagine that could take anywhere between like up to 15 minutes, maybe 5, between 5 and 15 minutes, depending on how much you're reflecting. So if you guys think it would be useful, it's just a whole bunch of work to type it out and put it in a Google form. But once it's in a Google form, you can keep going back to it. All you need is a link, click, blah, 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 blah. It's like doing a survey. All right. So once it is finished, it will be available to those who want it. So just let me know if you think that will be useful to you. Let me know, and I'll be happy to share it with you guys. Because hey, I want you guys to live your dream. I want you guys to live your dream. That's why we're here. You know. So if that helps you, let me know. I tell you what else could be helpful to you. Perhaps you're a student pilot. Perhaps you just want a bit of aviation entertainment. Here's something that could be useful to you. You could actually watch Future Pilot 901 Season 2.
Nice takeoff.
That's a screw. I was waiting for that because everyone does it.
I'm gonna make sure that you can do it. And you can do it, I know.
Can you get to the height of a double-decker bus?
How about this high?
Smoothly throttle to idle. Smoothly raise the nose.
This is floating. It's float.
Yes, man. Good food after hard days of flying, bro.
Bro, it's needed, man. That landing. Woo. I'm worn out.
Yes. Shout out to Chris. Shout out to Keno in the videos. Two really fantastic guys and they've been great on my channel. So appreciate them. I appreciate them. So if you've never watched Future Pilot 901 Season 2, make sure you check it out on the YouTube channel. By the way, shout out to the subscribers. If you're on YouTube, you're not subscribed, bro, like, what are you doing with yourself? Like, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit every button apart from the thumbs down button. Actually, do you know what? Just hit the thumbs down button if you have to. I'd rather some attention than no attention, okay? Your attention will help me pay for my pension. So come on, guys. I need to pay for my pension. You know, it's tough out here. It's tough out here. And all I need is a thumbs up. That's all I need. Thumbs up and subscribe. You know, I want to become a YouTube partner. I want to monetize the channel. And for some of you who know, what was it? Last year, I launched a scholarship. Now, I don't know any other PPL scholar who a year later after getting their scholarship then tries to launch their own scholarship. And it was very interesting. I did it differently. I decided not to do it this year just because of life, but I'm definitely going to look to bring it back at some point. Why am I telling you that? I'm telling you that to say that when you support me, your support doesn't stop there. When you support me, your support goes further. And actually, when I take that back because I'm not allowed to say actually. When I got my scholarship from the Honorable Company of Air Pilots in 2023, my sponsor is an A380 captain from British Airways. His name is Captain Colin Donaldson. Incredible guy. Grew up in Hackney, black man. And he told me the story when I met him about the fact that, you know, where he came from, he didn't get taught at school. He didn't have great quality teachers. And he said that he never actually knew what it was like to be taught until he got to university. And what he then realized is going into certain environments. This is an example, by the way. What I'm about to say next is an example. I don't know that it was his life necessarily. But he said, you know, going into certain environments, you'd be competing with somebody who is like captain of the skiing team. You'd be competing with somebody who's, you know, got all these A stars, and maybe he got a C. But when you go to these places and they see a C grade in maths, they're then asking, what happened? Like, why are your grades so average? Not realizing that actually, sometimes when you're coming from a disadvantaged background and maybe you had teachers who weren't actually teaching you, they just chucked the books at you and said, figure it out. Maybe you had to actually take care of your parents when you went home because they were sick with a chronic illness or disability. And so here you are as a 15-year-old, a carer, a young carer for your parents, not being taught at school, and you still come out with a C. That's actually incredible. And what he said is he's looking for people who are exceptional people, but they kind of look average, right? But they're not really average. They're kind of exceptional people hidden under the challenges of life. And that's his mission. And so he takes his £15,000 every year, gives it to the Honorable Company of Air Pilots, says, hey, can you get me a scholar with, you know, this kind of background of, you know, like somebody who really is exceptional, but maybe because of their circumstances, they come across as not being exceptional, right? But if you take their context, they really are exceptional. But yeah, he sponsored me. And one of the things I said to him was, I really appreciate what you've done for me. And the Honorable Company of Air Pilots, by the way. And I said, I will pay this forward. So why am I saying all of that? I'm saying all of that to say any support that I get never stops with me. Over the last 2 years since I've had my license, I've flown with probably 30 people, most of whom are student pilots. Me just wanting to give them extra exposure. I never had it. I never had somebody I could turn to and just say, can I go for a flight? I just want to be in the environment. And so my thing is, I want to give that to people. So I've got a group where I tell them, look, I'm going to fly. And if anyone wants to come flying, hey, you got some money, you can contribute. Great. You don't have money, you can't contribute. Just bring good vibes. Just experience aviation. And over the coming, years, I'll probably post more videos just because I've not had time to really edit it. But your support doesn't stop with me. I always pay it forward. So yeah, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. If you think there is any value in what we're doing here, share it. Share it. Don't be silent about it. That would be much appreciated. Did Ayub drop off the chat? Are you still alive, bro? Are you alive? What's Daniel saying? Daniel, where's Daniel? Do you have a link for us, mister? So that people can get discounts from Poolies equipment. Because Daniel is the hookup with Poolies. If you are Daniel, just drop it in the chat, man. If you've got a link, it's not affiliate. It's no, what is it called? I've forgotten what you call it. Ambassador. Yes. Brand ambassador. Drop the link in the chat, mister. Or in the comment section. Let people benefit from your discount link. All right. Coolio. All right. Well, I told you guys. So airline preparation or airline assessment season is coming back around very soon. Very soon. Usually TUI is the first to open up. I don't have the latest on that. When I do, I'll let you guys know. But usually TUI is the first one, December, January time. Then Lingus around this, maybe February, March time, as well as British Airways, and I don't know what Jet2 is doing next year. I haven't heard yet. If you guys know, let us know in the chat. But airline preps is starting soon. Airline sponsored schemes are coming back soon. And in fact, the Honorable Company of Air Pilots scholarships are also coming very, very soon. Traditionally, over the last 2 years, they've opened up what would be this coming Saturday, because this Saturday is going to be PCL, Pilots Careers Live. So it's a kind of careers fair that happens at Heathrow. It's huge, and normally that's where the company announces the opening of the scholarships. I do not know whether that's what's happening this year, because I'm not as involved with the PCL team as I was last year or the last 2 years, but I imagine they will be opening very soon. So if there's people wanting to apply for PPL, and I think you can apply internationally as well. I'll put it in the chat, actually. Let's have a look. I think you can apply internationally. You just have to show that you can cover your travel to the UK and you're living here whilst you're training. I think that's the case. And obviously interview. I don't know how they conduct an interview if you're international. But let's have a look. Let's have a look. See whether we can see when it's opening, because that would be really cool. All right, so let's go. Air pilots. Misspelling that. Airpilots.org, right? It is .org. There we go. Oh, by the way, you guys want to see me? Do you want to see me? No. Oh. Well, that's a shame. I am somewhere here. Let's go to scholarships. Scholarships. Winners 2023. In case y'all think I'm a liar, Here I am. Right there for you, 2023. There I am, right front and center. Okay. So let's have a look at scholarships for this year. If you wanted to see another video of me. That's Khalid.
Student World 10, ready for departure.
Three, two, one, first solo.
I just made it here on my own. First part of the qualifying cross country.
Yep, that is some of the work I do. For La Compañía, for the company. All right, let's have a look. Let's get out of this. And is there any announcement? What? I didn't know about this. Videos taken during scholarship training. What that? Oh,
But it's for people who
I
have
had a
in
hand in
general.
making this as well. Let's see. I had a hand in making this as well. There I am.
So the qualifying cross country is
There I am.
Amazing opportunity for me, and it could be amazing financial support.
My wider understanding of the sport.
For someone like me who's always had a dream of becoming a pilot, but considering how expensive it is, I've looked for multiple places to find financial support to help me along my journey of becoming a pilot. And one of the only places I found that actually give you a full scholarship is the Air Pilots. If you get the scholarship, you're entitled to up to 45 hours of flying lessons, which is exactly what you need to get the private pilot's license. So this has really been an amazing opportunity for me, and it could be an amazing opportunity for you.
So pre-flight is done. Everything is set, but it's going to be a long trip today. So I better go to the toilet before I head out.
It is absolutely impossible to put into words what it feels like.
Yeah, brings back memories. Gosh, we've made lots of videos there. Damn. And I've got like a ton of other videos that's not even been released yet. So, okay, that's pretty good. All right, so I would say watch this space. Probably by this time next week, they'll probably have launched the scholarships. So I'd say watch La Space. Watch La Space. Thank you, bro. Appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Let's see. PPL. 1 second. I'm trying to see whether people can apply internationally. Because I remember when I first found out about it, that's one of the things that caught me by surprise. I was like, oh, okay, so you can actually apply it. You can apply it internationally for the scholarship. But yeah, I'm gonna have to wait and see. Your ability to undertake the scholarship during the summer. Yeah, you only get 4 months to really complete the whole scholarship, which makes it quite intense. Pre-entry requirements, no. No. Oh, here we go. I told you guys, listen, I've got a good memory, yo. I've got a good memory. Do not play with me. I've got a good memory. I read this like back in 2019 and I remember. Listen, that's why in another life, I swear I would be a lawyer. I would be a lawyer in another life. Here we go. Overseas applicants must be able to show they have appropriate passport, visa, or travel documents to reside in the UK during training period in order for the application to be considered. So clearly, it does allow that. Now, the only thing is, you're going to have to get some kind of visa that allows you to be in the UK, like basically from June, 1st of June to maybe end of August minimum, right? Because if you're doing full-time training, you can get it done in 3 months. Obviously, if you work intensely. The only thing is, what will happen is you will have a UK license. So that's the only problem. But obviously, from an experience point of view, you will become a qualified pilot. Does a tourist visa work? Appropriate. Could a tourist visa work? I mean, I don't quote me. Potentially it could. Potentially it could. You just need to be here for the right amount of time, right? And it's not like you're coming to work, right? Because if you're coming to work, then you need special visa privileges. But if you're coming to be student, you know, I mean, it's not academic, so you don't need like you might not need a student visa like if you were going to university. But maybe student visa or tourist visa potentially. But then again, if you are applying for the visa and you state that you'll be doing flight training, there might be a specific visa that goes with that. I don't know. But like I said, it's worth about £15,000. They will cover your 9 exams that you need for a private pilot's license. They will cover up to 45 hours of flight training, which is what you need for the private pilot's license. In fact, they've just changed it, so you're going to need 40 hours of training to be eligible to take the exam. They cover your exam costs. They basically cover everything. You just have to deal with your food, your living and accommodation. You have to deal with traveling to the airfield and back, and anything like that. And then after that, in November, they have a scholarship presentation evening where all the scholars actually are in the same space for the first time. Yeah, they're in the same space, and they get a certificate handed to them. But if you're international and you can't be there for that, they would probably, mail it to you, I'd imagine. I've not heard of an international scholar yet, but they've got it open. So hey, if if they've allowed people to apply from overseas, then why not apply and see what happens? Why not apply, see what happens? Why not apply and see what happens? Okay, well, before we get out of here, I'm going to put myself under pressure. Why? Because I had a really good landing on Saturday. Really good landing. Because here's what I did, actually. Here's what I did before my flight. Why did I stop sharing? Here's what I did before my flight. And this comes directly from this book. Like I said, I don't want to just read stuff and not actually do something about it and just have the theory. I want to actually put it to practice, right? So check this out. This is what I was doing literally just before engine start. This is what I was doing. Second attempt. Okay, a little bit more all over the place. Third attempt. Fourth attempt. And then suddenly, I just felt in the pocket. After this, maybe. All over the place. And then I just went into the pocket. Oh, maybe not yet. There. I just went into a pocket. I could feel it. I was like super locked in. And that was like a totally different feeling to everything else that I tried before. And that comes from this book, right? It's supposed to help with peripheral vision, maintaining peripheral visions. Juggling is a good idea. And the reason why I practice that is because on landing, for you to, so you're approaching, you're over the numbers, then you look towards the end of the runway, and then as the aircraft kind of starts dropping, you pull back slowly so that you can have a smooth touchdown. Okay. Now, if you look just off the nose, yeah, if you just look here and you don't use your peripheral vision, you're going to make bigger changes. And what happens, what I've done in the past is I've then made a bigger change, and instead of touching down, I've actually picked back up and ballooned. And then I've had to go back down again, and I've ballooned, and then it's like chasing it, right? As opposed to having a nice, smooth transition. Yeah. And so using your peripheral vision allows you to actually make more subtle, a bit more flair. Wow. To flare a bit more subtly, or to make subtle adjustments in your flare, right? That's a better way of saying it. So that you're not ballooning and you're actually flaring at the correct rate. So having done this exercise before starting the aircraft, when we were then on final, I might have a clip of that actually. I might have a clip on final. Where am I? Do I have a clip on final? 1 second. I might show you guys. I actually, right at the end, I was like super locked in, and I was like, okay. Eyes, use peripheral vision, and it was a really good landing. It was a really good landing. Let me just see if I can find it. All my footage was glitched. No, I might have it. I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to show you guys. Give me a second. Where is it? Is it this one? No, that's take off let's go here. No, that's the end. It's near the end. Here we go. Oh yeah, you can't hear the sound. Anyways, I don't need the sound. One second. I'm going to share my screen. So here it is. So we're now, let me see. Where are we? We're in base on final. Okay. So at this point, I'm watching the airspeed. And then I'm watching the numbers. And at this point, I then tell myself, look down the runway. look down the runway, and use your peripheral vision. And that was touchdown. And what I'm explaining there is we came down at a much faster speed because it was lots of crosswind, and I actually had a faster approach speed. So if you're coming down faster, it's going to take you longer to bleed your speed off to then touchdown. So I had to be really patient. But yeah, I think the juggling beforehand actually helped me right on final. I then remembered peripheral vision, look all the way down, and don't try to look right in front of you. It's kind of like when you're learning to ride a bicycle. You know, like people look at their feet when they're trying to learn to ride a bicycle, and then they end up like wobbling all over the place and knocking themselves out, right? And what you tell people when they're learning to ride a bicycle is don't look at your feet, look straight ahead where you want to go. It's the same kind of thing. It's very easy to get caught up in when you're trying to land to like look at the ground right off of the nose. So you're like literally looking like right there. That's the wrong place to look because you're gonna chase it. In fact, I've heard that when you do, you know, like those office games where you try to hit a golf ball into like a cup, they usually say aim past it. Because if you aim past it, your body naturally makes tiny adjustments to actually be more accurate. So yeah, that's what I was able to do, and I was very happy with that. Very happy with that. So yeah, these things, you know, this is proving to be quite a useful book to have been reading into. So yeah, working well so far. Working well so far. Right, I tell you what else was working well. Tell you what else was working well or not working well. Radio calls.
Will 01, is that Bravo 1? Bravo 1, we'd like to back up to the RP, please.
Will 01, nothing to affect your backtrack to RP.
Roger, backtracking. Will 01.
Well, you knew what you meant.
Yeah. Okay. So I like putting pressure on myself. So here we go. I can't play background music today. Actually, no, tell a lie. Tell a lie? Yeah. No, I can't play background music. Share this tab. You know what it is. Pass. Hey, Ayub, did you try this? And how did you find it? I think last week I sent you the link. Let me know how you did. This was me earlier. This was my score earlier. So now I'm going to try with pressure of being live. But what I'm going to try to do is ignore that I'm live and just try to relax. Because when I'm at the assessments for the airlines, I'm going to feel a sense of pressure. And it's so important to learn to relax. So here we go. I'm going to give it a go. And what I want to do is look as far as I can see. Again, the same thing. Looking as far as possible. Okay. And it's interesting because with this, it's also, I'm using my mouse to do this, right? And so there's a certain way I want to hold the mouse. And if I don't hold it in that way, I end up messing up a lot more. So it's like there's multiple elements to this one. All right, relax the body. Yes, damn it. Okay, wow. All right, relax. Use your eyes. Here we go. Wow, that's interesting. So I'm controlling the speed and speeding up and slowing down. I don't like my hand position, how I'm holding the mouse, but I can't really change it now. But the more I can practice this, the more I can know the subtleties of what works for me. And that's the whole point of practicing. It's like figuring all these things out, so that by the time I do it in the test, I know exactly how I want to hold the mouse. I know exactly where I want to be looking. I know exactly how fast I like to move through the exercise. And with some of these exercises, I like to do micro movements in between just to stay relaxed. Because sometimes if I don't do little movements, I get stiff. So that's just a little trick that I learned. It's like just sometimes do micro movements. Or with this, I actually like doing smooth movements. So it's like I'm anticipating where the gaps are going to be. Damn it. 187, still 100%, but clearly below my best. So that was warm up. I'm going to have to subject you guys to one more of these because I'm not leaving here. I'm not leaving. No, usually I'm at 260. So I'm going to stay here all night tonight until I get over 200. Okay. So I'm going to try one more go. But I tell you, the mind is an interesting thing. You leave me alone on my own, I'm hitting 200. Listen, all of you guys are hostages. Anybody hey, shut the doors, shut the internet doors. Nobody's going anywhere until I get 200. But yeah, the mind is an interesting thing, right? You leave me on my own, 250 easy. Suddenly you click live and the brain goes, oh no, oh no, oh no. But yeah, so that's why I'm doing it here, because if I can master it here, then I wouldn't, I'm less likely to feel the pressure when I actually do the assessments. Okay, hand position, good. Okay, I'm ready. Let's go. Okay, little movements. Breathe and relax. Slow down slightly so we don't lose control. Another thing that this teaches me is how to bounce back. So when you fail one like this, don't then give up, right? You got to keep going and just go, okay, cool, I'll let that go. I'll still give the rest of it the best of me, And so it's all a mind game, man. And that's why I love this kind of thing, because it's all about training the mind. Because what happens when you on a skills test and you make a mistake? Are you then going to let the whole flight go to waste, or are you going to, get yourself back on track? What happens when you're flying with passengers and you made a little mistake? Is that going to put you off and ruin your performance for the whole flight, or can you bounce back? Can you put that behind you and say, okay, I'm going to debrief that, later on. For now, I'm not going to think about it. You've got to be able to put failures out of your head. You've got to. Okay. Damn it. Let's go. All right, everyone can be free now. All right, guys. All right, guys. You're not. I'll unlock the internet doors. All right. But again, I easily hit 250, 240. Easily. But again, it's just, being under pressure. And what you want to do when you're practicing for assessments, again, according to this book, is you want to recreate as much as possible the same environment. So if you know you're going to be under pressure in that environment, find a way to recreate some pressure, because you can do it calmly in your own room and practice on your own, but you have to get used to having the pressure on you so that you know you can perform under pressure. So if you can recreate the pressure, go for it. Because the truth is, when you are being assessed, you will feel a sense of pressure. So that was, I really wish I had, wait, share this. I don't know where all the buttons are, you see. So oh yes. Yes. Okay, cool. So let's see. All right, what else is left for today? Well, we've not talked about money too tough, but I will share with you a couple of things about money. Just quickly as we wrap up. It's been a longer show today because we've not had my soundboard because it's decided to play up. So I'm going to update you guys. If you don't know about money, if you don't know what I'm talking about, we have been last 2 episodes, we started talking about money because I want to encourage people to start investing. Because actually, take that back. No, actually, because if you want to build your dream, especially as a pilot, you're going to need money. And if you want to build your wealth in order to afford training, you have to manage your money well. Saving up might not be enough depending on your background. So what you could do is actually invest your money in order to cover your training in the future. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a new investment account. I've been investing for the last since 2021, 2022, let's say 2022. I've been investing for, I guess, 3 years now, going up to 4 years. And I've made in that time 100 and on average about 150% profit. And so I'm quite keen to just share the little I know because it helps me to improve and to grow in what I know. But also I want to share the kind of information that I wish I had earlier on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up an account. This is the plan with Robinhood, which is one of the apps that you can use. And I'm going to be investing live on this show and showing you what moves I'm making and why I'm making it. But what we started to do during the last show is just kind of having a chat about let me see, about money, having a chat about money. So I'm going to share this, having a chat about money, because if we're going to deal with money, then it's important to get to know what money is. Let me just double check that I'm sharing the correct screen. Yes. So we were talking about money. I'm going to run you guys real quick. I don't have, yes, invest. That's what it's about. So I'm going to run you guys. If you didn't watch it, this is going to be like a super quick reminder of some of the things we talked about. Go back to the last episode. I took quite a bit of time to talk through it. But I'm going to breeze through it today. I don't have much to share today because I wanted to actually, I take that back, because I wanted to start doing practical investing live. And I wanted to find out if Ayub had a referral link. But let's go back to this. Okay, let's have a look. So how should you store money? We talked about what is money. Money is a store of value, okay? Money is not actually that important. Money represents value. The money represents your hard work, represents your energy, represents your resources, okay? And we talked about how you can have money in different, you can store money in different ways. Cash is great because it's quickly available. You can use it to pay your bills. You can use it to buy something. You can use it very quickly. So it's useful to have cash, okay? Whether in your bank account or in your hand, it's still cash, right? But the problem with cash is that it loses value every day. Well, maybe not strictly every day, but over time, it loses value because of something called inflation. Basically, one of the ways that inflation happens is the government prints more money. The more money there's available, the less value it has. Yeah. Scarcity is what brings value. Scarcity is one of the key things that determines value. So the more money they print, the less valuable it is. So £10 would buy you a lot more 20 years ago than it buys you today. So if you're just putting money aside, cash, for your flight training, it's losing value. Prices are going to go up because the value of money is going down, and your money is going to be able to do less. So if you have £10,000 right now, in 10 years, it's not going to be worth as much. You're still going to have £10,000, but it's not going to buy you as much. So it's not a great long-term strategy to have cash. Then savings account, great. Save your money, you lend it to the bank lends it to other people, they make interest, they pay you back some of that interest. The problem is they give you a very low amount of interest because they guarantee as much as they can and take on all the risk. So that's why they give you something like 5% if you're with Monzo, or 3%, for example, with most retail banks in the UK. You might have 3.5. Virgin, I think, give you about 4.5 Virgin Money. So the interest is a lot lower, right? But it's better than having it in cash, right? But it's not that high. Now, investment, that could be physical assets, that could be stocks and shares, and et cetera, which is what we're going to go into. And that is where you can make more profit. That's where you can make more profit. Now, you need money in all of these, but it's about what your distribution is. You need a certain amount of cash so you can pay for your rent, so you can buy your food. You should have some savings, because if you go through some, emergency, you've got a pot of money to draw from. But you should also have investments where your money can actually grow. I'll let that actually slide, because that was a well-placed, actually. It wasn't just kind of me filling the space. So I'll give myself a bit of grace on that one. All right. What's the point of investing? Buy low, sell high. You want to buy a phone for £10. You want to sell it for £100. Okay. You want to buy stock at a cheaper price, sell it at a high price. You do that, you get profit. It's that simple. Top tips: start small, grow big. Invest as little as $10, and don't look down on something that small, because that's one of the reasons why people don't even start. You think I have to have thousands, and so you never ever become an investor. I started with $10. Bum, 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 bum. I then got the sense that I am an investor. I then threw even more money into it, and now my portfolio is definitely a lot more than $10. I can guarantee you that. So start small, grow big. Second tip is only invest what you can afford to lose. What does that mean? That basically means don't put your rent money, your food money into investments, because that's going to force you to sell. And the last thing you want to do is be forced to sell, because the market goes up and down. So when it goes down, let's say then you need to sell it because you need to pay your rent or you need to buy food, then you might have to take less money. You can't, it's kind of like when, like when a shop is about to close, right? And they still have the croissant from the morning. They still have the bagel from the morning. And it's like, oh, we need to go. So do you know what? We're just going to put the prices down. Do you know what? Normally we sell it for £2, but just take it for 50p, because now we just need to get rid of it because we need to close. Otherwise, we're going to chuck it in the bin. So the more desperate you are, the more likely you are to take a lesser price or a lesser amount. So if you're desperate to get the money back out because you need to pay rent or eat, you will likely end up selling when the market is low, and then you will limit your profit, or you might even take a loss. So it's really important to invest money you don't need. Let's say, okay, £10 a month, $10 a month. You don't need that $10. So you can put it in there in the investment and forget about it. It doesn't exist anymore for the next 10 years, at least. Only invest in what you believe in. So I believe in Manchester United. It's my team. I support it. I've got shares. I believe that, there's tech is, we're going towards EVs, electric vehicles. So I've got Tesla stock. People love watching Netflix. So I've got Netflix, shares in Netflix. Invest in what you believe in. You like to wear Nike? Find out if you can invest in Nike and own a piece of Nike, right? Become an owner, not just a consumer. That's really the key. All right, so let's go to some new slides then. I'm going to introduce you guys to a couple of new things. Ayub, you probably know this, but let me know. So these are some of the apps you can use. Robinhood is the one I'm going to go to because Ayub is using Robinhood. I've heard good things about Robinhood, so I'm going to try it out. I've usually been using eToro, so I'm a lot more comfortable with eToro as it is. I also have Trading 212, so I'm starting to spread my investments. The last thing you want is, an app crashes and then you're like, where's my money? So diversifying is a key term when it comes to investing. You want to spread your money across different places so that, if one thing goes down, you still have money. But if you put all your eggs in one basket and something happens to the basket, then you're doomed. And that's not what you want. Okay. These are some of the other apps. This is more trading. The difference between investing and trading is the length of time. Investors think more long term. Traders think more day to day, week to week. Okay. This is not, let me just say this. Wait, you guys need to look into my eyes. This is not financial advice. I'm just sharing with you the little I know that's been useful to me. Hopefully it's useful to you, but do your own research. I am not sponsored by anybody. I'm not getting any benefit from anyone. None of those apps. So I'm just sharing with you what I know. Obviously, capital is at risk. All right, next slide. So that was a bit of a kind of recap. Investing strategies you should know, especially if you're new, okay? So when should you invest or how should you invest? Regular intervals. That is also known as dollar cost averaging, DCA. What does that mean? That means on the first of the month, I invest $10. On the first of next month, I invest $10. On the first of the month after that, I invest $10. A consistent amount over time. It then averages out because the stock market will go up, it will go down, it will go up, it will go down. And if you keep on investing, regardless of what's happening, regular intervals, you're more likely to have a good average. Whereas if you wait to time the market, you might end up buying high and selling low. Okay. So dollar cost averaging is something that you will hear when you get into investing world or investing language, especially when we're talking about stocks, shares, crypto assets, things like that. So I wanted to introduce that term into the conversation. Buy the dip, okay? And you want a BLSH, which is buy low, sell high. Buy the dip. What do I mean by buying the dip? Number two, I was investing in Bitcoin, and then suddenly Bitcoin prices went down. When it went down, I wasn't just dollar cost averaging anymore. All right. I didn't just DCA. I was like, okay, cool. It's dropped because Trump has announced tariffs. Because he's announced tariffs, the market is less confident. People have sold their Bitcoin. The price has gone down. I believe it's going to come back up. And investing is all about hypothesis. It's all about what you believe. Feed yourself information, decide what you believe, and then invest what you believe. So I believe that Bitcoin was going to go back up. So when it went down, I didn't just DCA. I chucked even more extra money. Right. And then when it bounced back, I had even more profits. So that's called buying the dip. Okay. When you notice that a particular stock goes down and you believe from your research, from what you know that it's going to bounce back, you buy the dip. Okay. So you might hear me talking about buying the dip. Anticipating shifts is the third thing. Yeah, when you anticipate a shift, I'll give you guys an example. Last year, I heard that Jake Paul was going to have a fight with Mike Tyson, and it was going to be live on Netflix. I thought to myself, that means people are going to buy Netflix subscriptions. That means, like, this is a huge fight. People are going to be on Netflix. They're going to spend on Netflix. Cool. That means this stock is going to be, the price is likely to go up. So what I did is I bought extra stock from Netflix. And I think I'm probably about 100% maybe profit at Netflix, if I remember correctly, between 40 and 100%. But what I did was I anticipated the shift and I moved accordingly. So you might hear something about a company or, an asset, and you might then invest. So these are different strategies that you can use about when. So the safest way to do it is dollar cost averaging, DCA, regular intervals, regular amount, no matter what. Buying the dip, when you notice that it goes down, for whatever reason, buy some more. Or when you notice that there's a shift that's about to come, or sometimes one of the things that happens, for example, is when a company announces their financial reports. If their financial reports are strong, the share price will probably go up. If the financial reports are weak, it will probably go down. So then if you have a sense of, actually, I know Apple sales have been really good because they released the 17 Max, whatever, like it was doing really well. It's been in the news, and they're about to drop their quarterly reports, financial reports. Do you know what? I'm going to buy some extra ones because I know I believe it's going to go up. And you do that. But again, if you have an outlook of about 10 years, you ride the little waves because it will go up and down. So you have to ride the waves. Sometimes, I'm telling you, in 2022, after COVID, when the market was terrible, listen, I would go to my app, eToro, and it would be red, 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 red. And I just had to hang on. I had to ignore that. And I had to just, Bitcoin has dropped some more. I'll buy a bit more Bitcoin. And then it drops even more. I'll buy a bit more Bitcoin. And then it bounced back up and I made lots of profit. So yeah, it's all a mind game. It really is all a mind game. But those are some of the strategies that I want to make you guys aware of. And when I start to invest live on the show, you will be able to see me apply some of these principles. Okay, cool. Next one. I don't have that much more to go. Now, in the chat, let me know, what do you think this is? Now, Ayub, I expect that you will get this right. What am I showing you? And this is one of the last slides I'm going to show, and we're going to wrap up the show because it's been a good show today. You know, I've really enjoyed it. Thank you to you guys for joining me. It's been good fun today. So, what do you see? What is this slide all about? 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 I'm waiting for some suggestions in the chat. What do you think this is? These are two terms that you would definitely hear when you're looking at the stock markets. They represent two terms that you would definitely hear dealing with the stock market. Yes. Yeah. See, I knew Ayub would know. I knew Ayub would know. Yes. And bear market. So on the left is a green bull. On the right is a red bear. Okay. And what do they represent? They represent the bull market or bear market. Now, what does a bull market mean? A bull market is when the market, the stock market, it might not be just stock, it could be crypto, everything. The financial market is on the rise. When a bull attacks, guess what it does with its horns? Whoosh! Yeah, it goes up. Everything is going up. Okay. Over a significant amount of time. That's called a bull market. Or a bear market, when a bear strikes you down, it goes down. Going down. Yeah. It goes down. So when it goes down, that means everything's going down. All the crypto is going down. And this happens. We have bull markets, we have bear markets. And remember, bull market, bear market means over a prolonged amount of time. So for example, after COVID, we had a bear market because for almost over a year, it was going down and down and down and down and down and down and down. But we want bear markets. Ayub, no. We don't want a bull market yet. What we want is a bear market. Why? Because when the market goes down, 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 the prices go low, 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 low. So where a share in, say, Samsung might cost $500, in a bear market, it might be down to $100. You then buy it in the bear market, and then when the bull run comes and it goes up to 1,000, you have made what? An extra 900, right? You have 10x'd your investment. So what you need is actually a bear market because the prices go low. Remember, the whole point of investing is buy low, sell high. Buy it at a low price, sell it at a high price. So, for example, when the property market is struggling and it's low and the prices are terrible, that's the best time to buy the property. Because then when the property market bounces back and the prices are high, you make the maximum profit, right? So you want to buy at the lowest price possible and you want to sell at the highest price possible. So when you notice that you hear people talking about the financial markets being terrible and we're going into a recession and all of that, always have some cash to the side. Again, not financial advice, do your own research. Always have some cash to the side. When everyone's freaking out about the economy is down, buy your stock then. Because when the economy bounces back, you make the maximum amount of profit. Okay. So that's the idea. So bull market, bear market. Okay. Bull market, bear market. So just so you know, again, these are terms that you may hear me refer to when we are dealing with investing, because I'll be doing that live. I'm looking forward to that. I think it's going to be interesting to actually do it live. I'll try to keep it as growing as much as possible. I'll invest the minimum amount. Again, it's just demonstration, but also a way for me to diversify. Okay, cool. So just as a reminder, New Year's is going to be lit. Okay. The new year is going to be lit, because what I'm planning to do is I'm planning to have a week of live streaming. Monday the 5th of January, Tuesday the 6th, Wednesday the 7th, Thursday the 8th, Friday the 9th. It's going to be a full week of streaming, and I'm going to have guests on, and I'm really excited because it's going to be great. I'm hoping, I'm still working on it, Monday to Friday, every day. I'm hoping to secure the guests over the next month. I'll be working on that. So I'll confirm that by probably mid-November. But we're going to have a flight instructor. And we're going to be able to talk about, the journey towards becoming a flight instructor, and maybe certain tips that they can give to student pilots or even qualified pilots of how to keep their skills up, what to do, etc., etc. So I'm looking forward to that. Potentially, we might have a psychotherapist as well. All right. And that's going to be focused on mental health, because before you're a pilot, you're a human being. And if you don't manage yourself and your mental health, well, that's going to affect what you do. Before you do, you have to be. So we need to talk about the. And so, yeah, that's going to be cool, just to kind of get a mental health perspective on aviation. So that could potentially be a talking point there. And talking about maybe approaching assessments and the mental side of approaching assessments, and how potentially, maybe when we face failure, that sometimes we are, how can I say it? We are like, failure makes us freeze. And sometimes it's not even because of the failure itself. Maybe that ties back into our childhood. And maybe there are little things, little steps that we can begin to take to actually take our power back, so that when we face failure in our adult lives, it doesn't take us out. It's actually a learning opportunity, right? So talking about things like that, that might be useful, and you guys can send in your questions and they'll be able to answer and give you a therapeutic perspective. So that might be quite interesting. I'm also hoping to bring back, I'll see if he's available, Mo. Mo and I did the Day One Mentality podcast last year. We did about 40 episodes, I think. So it was really good fun. Mo is a personal trainer. He's also a fitness coach and a training sports therapist. Now, I know we're going to be eating a lot over the Christmas break. So we might need some tips to get back healthy again in the new year. So I'm hoping to have Mo back. Mo, come on, accept my invitation. It would be great to have him back. He's a great guy, brilliant energy. In fact, I did a promo video for him. I'll show you the promo video of Mo that I made. Where is he? Drive. Let me see. Enjoy the process. No. I'll show you guys. I made Mo a promo video. No, where is it? I'll try one more time. I think it's here. Yes. I think no, the sound should be working. Let's have a look. Oh, by the way, Mo is Moroccan. He's Moroccan, but he grew up in Spain as well. So he's Moroccan, but with Spanish background, just so you know. So yeah, it'll be great to have him on. Let me share with you guys. This is Mo, people. This is Mo. No. Here it is. W's in the chat. Yes. Yeah, so that's actually, I take that back. That's the first promo video I've ever done for somebody else other than myself. So that was pretty cool project. But yes, so if you want to see a bit more of Mo, you can see him on the Future Pilot 901 YouTube channel. We have the Day One Mentality podcast that we used to do last year. I would say it's timeless, really. We're talking about some principles that will allow us to live our dreams. But this time around, I'll be bringing him back, hopefully, to talk about how we can get back to being healthy after the Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. How we can get back to being healthy after the Christmas holidays and eating like a pig. Right. This is officially the longest show that I've ever done. This is officially the longest show that we've ever done. And you know what? It's been a lot of fun. And it's, I've not had my soundboard, but we have made it happen. I want to say a big shout out to you guys for joining me. Thank you very much. I never, ever take it for granted when you guys join me. I appreciate your support. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your questions. And I appreciate your input. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys. And just saying. Oh, okay, that was a bit loud. Sorry, guys. Saying, Ayub, I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate your input. As always, you are an MVP in the chat, leading the way. Thank you, man. Shout out to Daniel as well for passing through. I appreciate you. I might actually see. Let me see. Can I find Daniel and make him a mod? Let me just have a look at that before I go. Let me see if I can make Daniel a mod on YouTube, because Daniel popped up on the YouTube. View your channel. Why isn't it showing me live? Yes, it is. Right, where's Daniel? Daniel, here it is. Can I pin user, add as moderator, managing. Okay. Daniel, I've just made you a mod on YouTube. Shout out to you. Thank you very much for passing through. MVP, are you leading the way as always? Thank you very much. Your input is always much appreciated. All right, man. Well, that's it for today. Thank you very much for joining me. We're going to be back next week. Remember, we're on Zulu time. We are on Zulu time. That is UTC. The show is brought to you live on Kick and on YouTube, 7 p.m. Universal Coordinated Time, previously known as GMT or Greenwich Mean Time. This is Future Pilot 901, where we keep our fingers on the pulse of general aviation. My name is Dee. I'm your future captain. It's been a pleasure and a joy. Until next time, this is Future Pilot 901. And I'm reminding you to live your dream. Peace.
Man, from living in my car to finally getting my trial flight done.
Hold it.
To being in this moment. Hey, come on. Well done. Was it worth the sacrifice? Oh man.
Flat. Pull back.
May pull back more. Hold it there. Pull back.
Switching to Southern radar 130.
Bit more.
Listen. Was it worth the sacrifice?
So, power right on center line.
Listen, if you have a dream, it's down to you to make it happen, man. You might give it everything and it might still not work, but guess what? The journey makes you a better, stronger person. Can you imagine what kind of person you would become if you didn't pursue the one thing that you thought was the best thing in the world? You didn't pursue it. What kind of person does that make you after 20, 30 years of doing that? But when you chase what you believe is the most valuable, the most beautiful, the most awesome thing that you can do, and you give it everything, win or lose, you become a better person.